Scentland, the land of scent. Good evening, everybody. It's Chris, back with yet another fragrance review. It's like a good evening story tonight with this special light and special kind of environment, okay? But the review is going to be basically a part 2 of something that I've started with, an unboxing and first impressions. It's all about Gravitas Pour Homme by Naughton Wilson, England. And I started to get to know this fragrance yesterday when I did the unboxing and first impressions of the box, the bottle, the smell. And first it came across the green bottle, the green box and the heavy bottle as a typical English fresh green fougere fragrance. Okay, this was my first expectation, and that is not really what we're talking about here. I got to know later on, as I went on to wear the fragrance for more than 24 hours, to try it, to live with it, to experience the Drydown. So what we are having here is, and let me remind myself again of, I think I started the first impressions and the unboxing when I smelled this fragrance. I said it's a fresh, classy backbone with this horse stable vibe, okay? And it does have that. I mean, I love horse stable vibe, but then letting the Drydown develop, I realized that the horse stable Drydown consists of 3 notes, and that is patchouli, lavender, and vanilla. And these are stepping toward you in one move. And so you get, after the first few minutes, the initial haze of the first sprays, start to vanish, and you really get the first impressions, the real impressions of the fragrance. And these 3 notes step toward you simultaneously. Again, patchouli, lavender, and vanilla. And I've never seen a combination like this before. It really creates this horse stable scenario. Okay, it's very classy, it's very special, very very English as well. Okay, but then, and this is why it's good to let a fragrance develop, let your thoughts and your nose have a good few rounds kind of wrestling with the fragrance, and let it influence your senses, because you learn what I learned with this fantastic fragrance, I can say, really, Dan, wow, man, wow, is that it turns from the initial impression that I had, this is going to be a traditional English fougere, green fougere, it turns into a refined French beauty. And John Stephen, I think, is the parfumeur who actually, John Stephen, who worked with Check and Speak, and the other house, the very expensive niche house that the name escapes me at the moment. It's a very, very expensive niche house. Boldicare de Victorious, you know what I'm talking about. You can sense, you can smell that John Stephen is involved here, because this is something that is going into a very, very high quality level, okay? So when I'm saying it turns from an English to a French territory, let's say. Even though it sounds weird, it's true. And I'll tell you why. Because from the initial horse stable smell, fresh, classy English fougere, I get into a territory that is being represented today by the house of Chanel and the house of Hermes, okay? Like, wow. First of all, the Chanel fragrance, I'm usually not somebody who likes to compare things, okay? But in order to make it easier for you to imagine how this fragrance smells like, okay, so I give you examples. The Chanel Pour Monsieur Eau de Parfum 2016. Pour Monsieur Eau de Parfum 2016 is having a similar mood and vibe like this beauty Gravitas. Why? Yeah. It smells similar. It has the same aura. It has the same class to it. And I was thinking why. I was looking into Chanel Pour Monsieur. Yeah, and a big cab is just approaching us, and the engine is trying to blow my review, but it cannot. Love you too, baby. He's trying to get the corner, man. He's trying to get the corner, but I think he'll succeed. Good man, well done. You should be in Formula One, fella. Anyway, Chanel Pour Monsieur Eau de Parfum. I was looking into the notes of that, and in Chanel Pour Monsieur Eau de Parfum 2016, you have vanilla here. You have lavender, the classy backbone I'm talking about, it's here. And you have nutmeg. Nutmeg that is not included here, but instead Gravitas has coriander and cardamom. Okay, so a similar spicy aspect. So that's where your similarities come with Chanel. And I remember I mentioned Hermes Rocabar, okay, the fragrance called Rocabar, released in 1998. Gilles Romy was the parfumeur on that one. And again, vanilla and coriander, cardamom, and there you have some benzoin and violet. So this is why it's not the same, obviously. But the coriander, cardamom, vanilla aspect with Rocabar again creates this similar backbone here. What I wanna highlight the most is that I bow my hat in front of Dan, Naughton and Wilson and John Stephen because of the fact that they put on something onto the market that is something very brave, that aims toward the classy, high class fragrances of days gone by. And I knew that Dan is going to be along that line because Dan really appreciates the old classy fragrances of the 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s. And so when I heard that he's going to launch Gravitas, I was fairly confident that he's going to be releasing something like this. So as we go into the mid and the dry down of this fragrance, the horse stable vibe gets less, and what you get is a very reliable, very classy, spicy fougere dry down with the cardamom and the coriander, with some bergamot that provides an entirely embracing freshness throughout the entire development of the fragrance, and oak moss here, oak moss, steady, nice, not pushing, not 80s, 70s oak moss, classy French perfumery oak moss from the 50s, talking about 50s, 60s oak moss. Chanel Pour Monsieur very much coming into my mind, the original. Okay, so very, very nice, complex development and dry down here. It doesn't leave you with a boring kind of woody dry down. It keeps on with this cardamom, coriander, oak moss and bergamot to keep it still a bit fresh. Dan, man, I gotta congratulate you because you really done a great job, and I appreciate this fragrance a lot. Appreciate it being on the market, and anybody and everybody who likes a classy fragrances for special occasions. And I don't need to say that the performance is nice and the sillage is great, although it's not a pusher. It's not pushing you off your seat, okay? This is behaving, this fragrance, very intelligently done. The projection and sillage are moderate, consistent but moderate, okay? French way, done the French way, okay? So with all said, and this being a classy fragrance, this is still very much modern as well at the same time, and very much signature worthy, okay? Modern, so you don't get a dated fragrance, and you get a fragrance that is very versatile, can be worn throughout the entire year, no matter what season, okay? Gravitas Purom, Naughton Wilson, a great release, very brave, and I truly appreciate it. And you know what I appreciate even more? A Bacardi Black Superior with a bit of ice. It's even better than the fragrance, I tell you. Thank you very much, fellas. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, that was Chris from Sandland. Thank you, Dan.
Camera woman deserves a refill.
Oh, big time, I tell you. Empty